RLCS 2024 season, man. We've come a long way. Made it through 2 majors, and now we are here finally at the World Championship. And I am so stoked for this. So very excited. Especially considering I am going to watch it in person. This is going to be my first time ever going to an RLCS event in person, and I am so excited. So, if you don't know, the event is going to be 6 days long. The first 3 days, going to be no crowd, behind doors. But then the last 3, which are the 3 that I'm going to be going to watch, it'll be out in person, big old crowd. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the big thing they announced is all 16 teams here at Worlds are going to be playing in front of crowd. So we're going to get to see all of them. They didn't get to do that at the majors, they get to do it at Worlds. And the last thing before we finally get in, one other thing I'm going to be doing here at Worlds is I am going to be doing my first ever vlog. So if y'all are excited to see this vlog, please let me know. Like, subscribe. I'm going to really try to get it out as soon as possible after Worlds. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing a lot of different stuff, a lot of different people. You're going to recognize a lot of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. But beside the point, let's go ahead and hop right into our predictions. First of all, starting on G2 Limitless, 3-0. Major champs versus SSA team. SSA team's not going to win a game. Plain and simple. Gentlemates Pioneers. So we did see Gentlemates and Chiefs at Esports World Cup. And Jorias did manage to beat Gentlemates twice, even sweeping him with the Chiefs. However, Pioneers are not as good as Chiefs with Jorias. And I also think Gentlemates are going to be a lot better. So, gotta be another 3-0. Falcons are God tier during Swiss, gonna be a 3-0. Fury OG, we did see this at London. I don't really think it's gonna be any different. Fury looked alright at Esports World Cup. They lost to Vitality, got swept by Falcons. Looked meh. Didn't see OG. OG was okay during Shift League before it went down, but it just wasn't really anything impressive. Now, BDS Oxygen. So, if you aren't aware, Oxygen was supposed to be the Mina 2-speed. It was supposed to be anything here, which is X-Rule 1. It was going to be Nupo, Misho, and Venom. But Venom did not want to play because he moved over to Twisted Minds, so he didn't want to play with them. And Khaled is basically retired, so he didn't want to play. So anything forfeited their spot. Twisted Minds couldn't play because Ahmed was in retirement and didn't want to play. And then basically everyone else in Mina couldn't play. So Psyonix and Blast, as their last second ditch effort, was like, all right, let's invite Oxygen. So we have 5 EU teams instead of 4. Personally, I'm not really complaining. I don't really care. I actually think Oxygen's a better team than any. Well, it's not really a shocker. I think Oxygen's better than anything. And I think it'll be more exciting. So I'm excited for that. But we did see Oxygen BDS a few times, and BDS did win basically every time. So I don't really think anything's going to change. Vitality Secret. Yeah, I don't think Secret's very good. They didn't look very good at Esports World Cup, although Vitality didn't either, but I just don't think Secret's really all that great. Power Genji. Genji is known for getting off the slow starts and dropping out, that one game randomly that they shouldn't, but I still think Genji's going to take it at 3-0 sweep. I think they got it. I think they're coming in here with a lot more confidence than normal. And Power, I don't know. They haven't looked too well. They've looked pretty shaky recently. Haven't seen the same power that we saw in early London or in online. So I'll give Genji in the sweep. Now here is probably the craziest and most exciting event match of the first round. We got SSG versus Casey. Now we have not seen Casey on LAN since March. It is September. We've not seen him since March. It's been a long time. We don't exactly know what to expect from this KC team. And honestly, I don't really have that high of hopes. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to win the whole event. They've been grinding. They messed up, but they're coming back with a vengeance. I'm like, I don't really see it personally. I find a lot of teams that struggle in the last split don't do well at Worlds. There's been a couple cases. G2 last season, they looked pretty solid. Nothing too spectacular, but please don't mind the Discord. Hopefully then I'm in a call just deafened. But yeah, G2 got top 8 at Worlds after missing a LAN, but Honestly, they still weren't that spectacular. And I can see Casey get a top 8. I think they probably will, but I don't think they're going to be too good. And honestly, right now, SSG, I have a lot more faith in them right now. I like them. I like LJ a lot. I think LJ is the best player. Not best player. I don't know what I'm saying. I think LJ is a fantastic player. And, I think he can definitely solo carry against KC. And I'm going to actually give it to SSG. This is an upset in a lot of people's eyes. But I just think SSG can be the better team here. I'm going to give it to him. All right. Next, we got G2 SSG. We've seen this a lot of times. SSG's not going to win. Genomate's Vitality. I'm a really big fan of Genomates on LAN. I think they're gonna take out Vitality. Vitality's just been really shaky recently. I mean, all season long, ever since they won that World Championship, they've been shaky. And I've been waiting for them to get it, together to, correct themselves, but they just haven't. Until then, I got to give it to the team that has proved it on LAN. I'm gonna give it to Genomates. Falcons BDS. We saw this at London, and we also saw it at Esports World Cup. At London, Falcons won 3-2 in Swiss. And then most recently in the Esports World Cup, BDS actually won 4-2 in the Grand Finals. However, Grand Finals Falcons seems to just have something wrong with them, and they are not able to be good. This is not Grand Finals Falcons. This is Swiss Falcons. Swiss Falcons is a whole nother beast. To be honest, I'm going to give it in 5 again, this time to Falcons. We're going to, last one we got in this round uppers is Genji Furia. Now, we did see this at Copenhagen. Furia beat Genji in 5. However, I think Furia has looked much worse recently. Obviously, they had the top 4 at London, but outside of that, I don't know. I don't really have confidence in Furia. They didn't look good at Esports World Cup, and honestly, Furia is just a wild card. Genji also is kind of meh, but they look pretty good at Esports World Cup. I'm not giving too much weight into it. I really don't want to, but honestly, I just think Genji is going to be the better team here. And we're going to see it go here. Oh boy, I already see this. And we're going to get to that. KC Limo. We'll go through these real quick. KC Limo's 3-0. Secret Pioneers 3-0. 3-0. Ooh, okay, this is a tough one. Can Power finally get that win over an NA team? They haven't been in a team yet this season. I think they will. OG just hasn't been good on LAN at all. And I don't think they're going to continue. I don't think they're going to pick it up. I think they're going to continue to struggle on LAN. And they're going to go into Crowd Day in the O2 round against Limitless, it seems. G2 Genji. Oh my god. I want to see this in front of a crowd so bad. This is my hope. I want to see this in playoffs. I want to see this in a best of 7 in playoffs so badly. Nothing more in the world do I want to see. It's going to 5 as always. All right. Next we have Genomates Falcons. Now, we've seen this matchup twice. The first time was in Copenhagen. Genomates and Falcons played in Swiss, and Genomates won 3-0. Obviously, that Genomates squad was just on a mission. And then we saw it again in London in the playoffs, where Falcons won 4-3 in the semifinals, and it was probably the best series of the event. So it's really tough to tell, because Falcons are really good, but so is Genomates. And honestly, a lot of people might think it's unpopular, but I got Genomates taking it. I really do. All right, next we have Fury Power. I'll give Power a game. This will be 3-0. Ooh, El Clasico from last season. The best matchup. Even though BDS was better, everyone talked about Vitality KC last season. Will Vitality finally be able to beat KC? They have not yet this season. This might be their chance, and I'm going to give it to them in 5. Space Station Auction. I don't really have that much hope in Auction. I think SG's a solid team. Can make top 8. We'll see if they do. OG Limitless. 3-0. Pioneers, Gladiators. I'll give Gladiators a game, but I think Pioneers are a lot better. We did see Chiefs beat Gladiators beat the Chiefs in London, but I think this Pioneer squad is better than that Chiefs squad, so Obviously, that G squad didn't have Joria's like the one that an Esports World Cup did. Ooh, Falcons SSG. We saw this. I'm trying to trick y'all into not knowing what I'm doing. So I saw this in London in the first round, and SSG actually for a second I looked like could take it. They weren't able to. They just lose in 5. And I think they'll take it. I think they'll go to 5 again. But SSG, you know, they're better. They're good. They're a really good team. They're so close to being great. They just haven't been able to put it all together. I just don't think they have enough firepower. But they're close. Gingy Vitality. We saw this in London. We've seen a lot of matches that we saw in London. And Vitality did win, but then we saw in 5. But honestly, Gingy looked like the better team in the second half of that series. They just weren't able to get it done in game 5 after a failed reverse sweep with him. And then we saw this a match again in Esports World Cup in playoffs, and Gingy had a dominant sweep. Like, it wasn't close. And honestly, I'm going to give it to Gingy again because of that. BDS Furia. I like BDS a lot more in their recent form, so I'll give it to BDS in 5. That's it. There we go. Dude, KC's about to have the most Mickey bracket ever. Auction OG. I like Auction more. I like OG. Secret Power. I'm gonna be honest. I really like. I really am not high on Secret. So I'm gonna give it the Power. Oh my god. We'll come back to this. This could be a 3-0. What? 3-0. Okay. And then honestly, Vitality Auction. It'll be 3-1. I don't really think Auction's good enough to beat Vitality. I don't think. Like I said, Vitality still not very high on, but I like them a lot more than I like Auction. Right now, the moment of truth. Furia KC. Who am I going to upset? Am I going to upset the Sam haters or the KC fanboys? Wait a second. What? I meant the Sam fans or the KC fanboys. That's what I meant to say. Could go either way. I don't like either team very much. I don't think either team is very consistent, but I like the peak of KC more. Furia, I'm sorry to say, you are not good to be playing in the playoffs. Right, honestly, I like this. I think this is fair. Pretty good. Let's take a quick break, you know, from these lesser unimportant matches and talk about the most important match of all time, Chalkcast versus First Touch. Now, if you don't know what this match is, it's going to be Chalkcast, which is made up of CJ, Johnny Boy, and Rizzo, versus First Touch, which is T-Bates, Dazarin, and Roldiz. Now, CJ is a former pro, and a successful former pro. Roldiz is also a former pro. And there's also on Chalkcast, you have Johnny Boy, and Rizzo. I honestly can play forever. Rizzo is also a former pro. However, none of them really played the game. All of them are hanging around like GC2, well, I think Rizzo's hanging around GC3. CJ's around GC2 nowadays. Probably can get to GC3 though. And then Johnny Boy's like a champ. Over here we have T-Bates and Roldiz, which are both SSLs. Typically SSL. And then Dazarin, which is a GC1. Now, a lot of people, you know, look at Chalkcast with their 2 former pros and think they have the advantage. However, I am really high on First Touch, and I'm going to give it to them because of that. People may not like it, but I like it. Personally, I think First Touch is going to win this. Alright, now back to the bracket. Here we go. Now, before we can get to all these matches, we have this. We have the new tiebreaker rules. So what's going to happen is the 3, 4, and 5 seed in Swiss are going to 3 and 1 are going to fight over who gets to play up here and who has to go down here. So the 3 and the /4 seed have 2 lives. They get 2 chances. Whoever wins goes to the 3 seed. Whoever loses goes to play Falcons in this situation. And whoever wins this match goes to the 4 seed. And the loser goes there. So this really like to see. Now, typically, man, give me a second. I'm gonna have to, you know, do this. Shit. I know that doesn't break anything. Yeah, okay. This is exactly what we want to see. Perfect. Customization indeed on the 5, and I can deal with that. Yeah, perfect. So now we get to see BDS Falcons, and I'm gonna give this to not Falcons, BDS or Falcons again. They face right here, and I'm gonna give it to Falcons. Actually, ooh. Ignore the fact that I'm gonna totally mess with this bracket for my own personal gain. How do I get Falcons? Okay, perfect. Yeah, yes, it's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Ignore my ignore me breaking the bracket for my own personal gain. But you know, you'll see in the future, see in a second what I want to do. Boom. Okay, perfect. Now we get to watch the greatest match of all time, the only match that matters, Gingy versus G2 in a best of 7 on LAN in front of a crowd. This is what I want to see more than anything. Unfortunately, I have to give it to G2, very sadly. Next, we have Gentleman's Falcons, which I am going to give to Falcons this time. I did give it to Gentleman's and Swiss. This time I'm going to give it to Falcons. Now, or maybe not. What if I do that? Nope. Okay. Now, we have BDS SSG, which we saw in Esports World Cup. And honestly, I just don't think SSG has the firepower to beat BDS. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to, I'll give it to BDS here in 6. We got El Clasico again. And once again, I don't really think KC is good enough to beat Vitality right now in their current forms from what we see. Like I said, though, KC is a complete and total anomaly. We have no idea what to expect from them. Anything could happen. They could win the whole event for all we know. But for now, I'm going to give it to Vitality in 6. Next, we have Gingy BDS. I know I had Gingy winning here. This time I have BDS winning in 7. Your Gentleman's Vitality. I'll Gentleman's winning in 6. I like Gentleman's. And now here we go. We have 2 massive rematches. This is the 3rd time Falcons BDS are playing on LAN. In this LAN. And you know, maybe 3rd time is the charm for BDS. I wasn't going to do it, but you know what? I'm doing it. BDS in the grand finals of the World Championship over Falcons. Call me crazy. I don't care. We're doing it. Next, we got G2 Gentlemen's, a rematch of the Copenhagen Major Grand Final. This time, I think we're going to see the exact opposite result. We are going to see G2 coming out on top to go to their 9th straight grand final of the RLCS season. And oh boy, G2 fans, the PTSD is real right now. At grand finals in Dallas Fort Worth against BDS. And guess what? One team is going to win 4-1. This time, it's going to be G2. I know, I'm boring, I'm biased. G2 will be your world champions. They will be crowned as probably having the best season in RLCS history, to be honest. 9 straight grand finals with 7 event wins? No, 6 event wins. 4 regionals, 2 lands. And world champions. Atomic will be crowned the open air GOAT after this event with his world championship in 2 majors. And Beast Mode will be declared the best player in the world, as he already is. So, yeah, that's it. This is exactly what will happen if I'm wrong. The system is wrong, the world is wrong. You're just living in an alternate reality, because I can't be wrong. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my predictions. Like I said, I will be at the World Championships, so there won't be any watch parties this time around, but do be on the lookout for a vlog, because it's going to be crazy. We're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of people you'll know. If you're new to my channel, you won't know them, obviously, but anyone who's, you know, been around my channel for a bit, you're going to know a lot of the people we're going to be hanging out with at World, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed the video, though, and we'll see you soon.